Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Funke Afolabi Brown. I am so excited to have this conversation with a friend, Inga Fay, a confidence coach who will be talking to us about all things authenticity. And if you followed me for a minute, you know, one of the things that I am passionate about is really empowering women, right, in whatever space they're in at home, in their workplace, as leaders, in business, whatever it is, to prioritize sleep. But then if you also have followed me for a while, you'll know that one way or the other, I managed to bring the conversation somewhere around sleep. Because if you have mind drama, if you're not confident, if you're second guessing yourself before you go to bed, then that might make your mind race because you're like, oh man, I should have showed up a different way. So it all is connected to sleep one way or the other. And I really had an incredible conversation with Inga a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I got to have you on my show. Come talk to my women. So it's so good to have you. Do you mind introducing yourself? Because I know I will never do it justice.
Okay, so my name is Inga Fay. I am a authenticity strategist, aka confidence coach, and my focus is centered around women as well. Really, just helping them to be comfortable in their skin, to really be able to rock their God-given attributes, whether they're tall, short, got big feet, small waist, big waist, whatever, that you just really enjoy what you have been blessed with and rock
Mm.
what you have been blessed with. And in addition to that, also to use their innate gifts. I know I am an introvert. And most of the time, when I say stuff about introverts, most people don't want to raise their hand. So I oftentimes say people that have introverted tendencies, and then I get the hand raised. So I also help those women as well. And then just really helping women understand the power of building authentic relationships to grow their business. You're just using the female energy that we naturally have, just to really connect with each other, see how we can support one another, and then be power partners, because entrepreneurship is definitely a team sport. So that's what's really it's all about. And I'm just happy to be here today.
Oh, you see, you guys, you see what I meant? You see why she had to come? So maybe let's get started from the very beginning. Like, what is authenticity? Because we hear that term thrown around. Oh, just be authentic, be authentic. Well, like, what does that mean? Especially in this space where we're talking about women and entrepreneurship or leadership, or even in the home. What do
Right.
you really see that as?
Well, the way I really see that is I'm just going to basically say my slogan. And if anyone that knows me, that's heard me speak before, my slogan is do you boo. Because at the end of the day, no one can do you better than you. I think oftentimes we get caught up on trying to be a copycat. But I think we need to make sure that we are doing things that really resonate with us. I know I primarily serve people in the network marketing and direct sales space. And oftentimes we are told to follow our leaders or follow the people that are really being successful. And sometimes, well, I guess in some cases, I'll just say in business in general, a lot of the times when you see somebody successful in business, more than likely you're going to see somebody that seems to be an outgoing extrovert. And we just instantly think that we are supposed to be that way. But I want you to know that if you're an introvert or even have those introverted tendencies, that you can grow a business being yourself. And that's really what it means to be authentic, is to be yourself. Do the things that resonate with you, because at the end of the day, if you're not doing that, you're not going to feel good about what you're doing. You're probably going to stop doing what you're doing and really quit. And we don't want you to quit. We were all wonderfully and fearfully made, and we just need to rock what we were given.
Mm, that is incredible. I love that so much. And I love what you said. Like, we've all been given this gift. And so,
Yep,
what's the point hiding it under what we're not, or who we're not, or who
exactly.
society wants us to be? Then we're not showing up authentically, right? That's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that word, right? But I think that is just so important. And I love that slogan, do you boo? Like, I think that's going to be like the title of our talk. How to do you boo for better sleep. I don't know,
Exactly. Yeah, there
So
you go.
what stops women from doing that? What stops them? Because I know women hold back. And I struggled with that as well personally. Like, you're just like, will I get accepted? Those are some of
Right.
the thoughts I have. But from
Yep.
just your own experience and with working with women in this space.
That's what it is. It is the
Mm,
acceptance. We feel like
mm,
we have to be like somebody else to be
mm,
successful. We see that person as successful. So
mm,
we're not looking at the things that they're doing, the activities that they're doing, because a lot of time it has a lot to do that. We feel like we
mm.
have to just emulate them. And if we're not being authentic, our authentic self, that's going to show, and people are going to feel that energy. They're going to feel it, and they're going to be like, well, okay, well, something's wrong here. I don't know exactly what's going on. That energy is not quite right, because especially if you're being somebody that you're not, that is going to be felt by your clients, by your people that you're just generally interacting with. You just want to just be you. So that
Mm.
is why I really think it's truly important just to do the things that feel good with you, do the things that feel good to you. Because if you do that at the end of the day, and you do that over a consistent amount of time, I think you're going to get where you want to be.
You know what? That is so, so true, because I think there's a confidence that comes off when you know that you're being yourself. You're not trying to,
Exactly.
because it's also hard to replicate a version of yourself that you're not necessarily you don't feel true to, you don't feel committed to, right? Like,
Right.
it's going to be off. And I think even if that you is not what society defines as being the typical, then be atypical. That's okay,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah. And I guess one thing that came to
Mm,
mind, and I just thought about this, is
mm,
I can remember when I was in corporate America, and
mm,
at the time I wanted to go natural. And I was very
mm,
concerned about how I was going to be perceived by
mm,
my my white counterparts. Even
mm,
I won't even say just my white, I would say just people in general.
mm,
And one of the things that I felt like when I did it, I had so many people from different nationalities tell me, Inga, that's you. That is you.
mm,
And it made me feel so good inside that I was so
mm,
self-conscious about putting a chemical in my hair, even though it broke
mm,
my hair off, that if I was being myself, that I wouldn't be accepted. And when
mm,
that happened, it was just like, wow. I wanted to say that because I'm sure there's somebody out there that may be going through
mm,
something similar, that you
mm.
can do that. And it still can be seen as professional when you
Yeah,
do it.
I love that. That is so liberating, right? Um,
Yeah,
and then you feel less like you don't feel like you're disappointing yourself or letting yourself down,
exactly.
right? Because you can tell, you can have that nudging, you have that nudging on your inside saying, no, you do it, right? And so when you respond to that nudging, then you feel more confident, like, yes, I'm very well aligned. So I think that is just so powerful.
Hmm.
But
For sure.
what then happens? What if we don't? What if we decide we're going to just, follow the status quo and not be authentic? Like, what does that hold us from or prevent us from achieving?
I think it's going to prevent you from being the best version of yourself
Mm,
at the end of the day. And I think all of us want that. We may be a
mm,
little fearful on how to get there, but
mm,
at the end of the day, I think that's what we want. So
mm,
when you are doing something that really truly does not resonate with you, I don't think it allows you to be as innovative and as creative as you could be, because you're
mm,
not true to yourself. I think everybody has their own innate gifts that they're gifted with. And if everybody operates in those gifts, and all of us have different gifts, I think the world would be a better place. I think we would be a
mm,
more enlightening type of community, because we could serve each other in a different way that we wouldn't necessarily be able to do, because we're true to ourselves and know,
mm,
and we feel that in our spirit, that you could really openly talk to someone about
mm,
whatever that you
mm,
have going on, because you feel good about who you are inside. So
mm.
yeah, I think it would really enhance the communication and the community building within if we were able to do that.
Yeah, and that is so powerful, and it will hold us back. So it sounds like if everyone were to suddenly get that understanding of being their authentic selves, we could literally change the world.
Oh, we could, but I think it's so many
Yeah.
things people are self-conscious about. Like
Mm,
I was telling you about the hair.
mm,
It may not be a hair thing for you.
mm,
Maybe it's your body shape. Maybe you're not the body shape that you think you should be.
mm, mm.
And you feel like that may be holding you back.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's you want to be an entrepreneur, but your friends and family are 9 to 5ers and they just don't understand the
Mm,
opportunity or even the thought process or the mindset
mm,
that comes with being an entrepreneur. And they get on you
mm.
like, are you crazy? You're going to leave your good paying job. I had so many people tell me that, girl, you're going to leave your good job to be your own boss. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
because they have no clue of what that would encompass or what that would allow you to achieve, or even
Mm,
the confidence that it would take for you to do that. And I think a lot of
yeah.
that has to do with that as well.
That is so true. And what you say, what you're saying really resonates with me because for me, it was my accent. I'm like, well, I have
Really?
this thick African accent. I mean, sometimes Alexa can't understand me. Siri is asking me what the heck I said. And so,
Wow. That's
so it
real.
was a thing. And showing up, doing a live, doing an interview, I'm like, maybe I'll try to, but then I'm like, no, this is me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you said, it's extremely liberating because if I sound like everybody else, then what differentiates us, right? So
Right.
I've learned to embrace that. And guess what? I'm a speaker, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Accent and all. So I think it really does take working on not just how we look on the outside, but really actually starting from that mindset, making that whole shift to create that transformation where you're able to show up as you and just
Exactly.
embrace that. So I really, really love this.
And
So
then in
then
addition, let
yeah,
me say this really quick while I'm
yeah.
thinking about it. In addition to that, it's also going to help someone else that may have an accent
Mm,
similar to yours or wants to be
exactly.
a speaker. If they see you
Yeah.
do it, they're
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, I can do that. Funke
Yes.
did that. I can do that,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's not just for us, it's for those
Mm-mm.
people that are coming behind us too, so they can feel
Yeah.
like they can do, because when you see somebody like you doing something that
Mm-hmm.
you want to do, it makes it
Exactly.
even more like, oh, achievable. Oh, I could do
I
that. She
know.
did it. I can do it. Yep.
And that's just beautiful because then what happens is every time I'm trying to hold back from being my authentic self, it's no longer just about me.
That's right.
It's about the ripple effect because then if
Mm-hmm.
I don't show up, I'm not giving that person that opportunity to show up because they don't see anybody that looks like them or sounds like them. So,
Yep.
and that's one of the things I say, like our dreams are just beyond us. Like get over yourself and go get it, right?
Yep, for sure. For sure.
Because there are people waiting, right? There are people waiting for your manifestation so that they
Yep.
can pursue their own God-given dreams. So thank you so much for highlighting that. Now we've understood that showing authenticity is critical in terms of the way we build relationships, the way we show up as entrepreneurs, the way we create impact. Honestly, so what would you say are some just like practical tips we can adopt to embrace authenticity?
I think the first thing I would say is start.
Mm,
I hear so many people say they have this idea or
mm,
they're thinking about doing something, but they haven't put it into action yet.
mm,
So at first and foremost, I would first tell you to start. Secondly, I think confidence or authenticity is a growth muscle. It's a muscle similar to what you if you work out or if you go and walk or run or whatever, you are
mm,
exercising the muscle. And the more you exercise it, the more prepared it's going to be for whatever, I'll say.
mm,
But when you think of courage or confidence or
mm,
authenticity as a muscle, you got to build it over time,
mm.
which means the way that you build it is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
So I can remember when I first started doing videos, I was very nervous about doing the video. So what I did was I set myself up for success, I'll say, because I had to do the video on my lunch break because I couldn't do it after work because I live in CST time, probably about an hour away from EST. So it gets dark really early in the fall.
Mm,
So I couldn't do it after work. It was either it's going to get done during my lunch break or not at all. I then had to just do it. I didn't necessarily have a script. I kind of knew what I was going to say, but I didn't know what I was going to say, but I had to force myself to do it. And
Mm.
even as the more times I did it, I became more comfortable with it, to the point that
Yeah.
I make myself do a video all the time so I won't lose that
Muscle.
confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend that you do things that you haven't done before, and know that just do it afraid, do it scared. Your wicks, I know that there are going to be times you're going to be scared, is what I would say. Just do it
Mm.
anyway, because when you do it on the other side, and you're just like, wow, that wasn't that bad. I thought that was going to be really bad, but it wasn't. And you'll be so glad that you did, instead of wish you had. And as you continue to build that muscle, when certain things come at you, like I was on an interview yesterday with a guy in India, and he just started asking questions that he gave me a whole list of questions that he told me he was going to ask me. But then when we got on the interview, it was completely different. I mean, like, he totally flipped the script. Now, old Inga would have been like,
Mm.
oh my God, what is he doing? This is not
Mm.
what we talked about. But I just
Mm.
roll with it, because I have been doing that kind of thing for so long that it was
Mm.
just easy to do. And when you continue to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you become comfortable being uncomfortable, and you just roll
Yeah.
with it. So you're going to be better for it.
Awesome. That is so much truth. Do it anyway. Do it
Yep.
scared. Just show up, even in the midst of the doubts, in the midst of the self-doubt, in the midst of the negative talk. Just show up, and you
Yep.
realize, one, you will not die. Most likely you won't throw up, like
Exactly. Exactly.
so that is really, really powerful. So then, we've had conversations in the past, when I was on your show, about sleep. Do you think prioritizing sleep for you personally, and maybe for your clients or just experiences, do you think prioritizing sleep enables you to embrace authenticity? Or on the flip, how would embracing your most authentic self, how do you think that would impact your ability to get a good night's rest?
Okay, so I think we briefly, before we got on the show, we were talking
Yeah.
about how busy it has been.
Yeah.
Both of our kids have graduated from middle school, getting ready to
Yeah.
step into high school. I know my
Mm.
son has had plays and all these different activities
Mm.
this
Mm.
week.
Mm.
My mom was
Mm-hmm.
in town. I had so much going on that I was tired. And I know when I'm
Mm.
tired, I am not creative at all.
Mm.
I'm somewhat stressed, to the point that I have to, like, literally sit down and rest
Mm.
myself. And I think that's what affects my authenticity, because I'm not really able to be the true Inga.
Mm.
If I may be cranky, I may
Mm-hmm.
even get a little sick, depending on
Mm.
how much rest I haven't gotten.
Mm.
So I think it has a lot to do with authenticity, because if I'm
Yeah.
well rested, I'm not going to be cranky.
Yeah.
I'm going to be more cordial, like I
Mm.
normally am, more so
Mm.
than like, oh, because I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
So I think it's a point that we got to make sure that we take the time to rest. I mean, I know even at the end of the day, like maybe 5 or 6 o'clock, I literally have to say, okay, I'm done now, because
Mm.
even if I tried to do something, it's going to take me so much longer to
Mm.
do it, because I'm
Mm.
tired. And
Mm.
instead of just waiting to the next day early in the morning and really be able to
Mm.
grind something out in maybe 15
Mm.
minutes, but if I kind of struggled with it while I was tired, it may have taken me
Mm.
2 hours to do. And who wants to
Mm.
waste time like that? So
Mm.
really make sure that you get the necessary rest. I know you were telling us before about 7 to 9 hours to
Nine.
sleep, just
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
depending on the person. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
very, very, very important for sure.
Oh, I love that. You are, and y'all, I did not pay her to say that. I think you just hit the nail. And research has proven that, like,
Yeah.
your ability to show empathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even as a leader, as a parent, as you know how you sort of snap and then you're like, oh man, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that bad. Sometimes it's because you're exhausted and you've not given your
Yep.
body the right amount of rest. So it does impact our ability to show up authentically, because
Yep.
then what we've said before is not really matching who we're showing up as. So
Yep.
I
For sure.
love that I just really, really loved how you put that. And so this has been incredible. It's been short and sweet, and
Yep.
I just have enjoyed just talking about this, and really, I hope this, and I know this will help those out there that are watching this, to see how you can embrace authenticity. Start small, and then build from that. Start with one step. Like Inga said, do it. Just do it. Do
Yes.
one thing, right? Do one thing.
Yep.
Step outside of that comfort zone, and then take the next step and build from there. So
Right.
where can we find you? Where and how can we work with you if people are like, okay, I want some of that. I want some of that confidence, some of that, like you exude it from that lipstick color
Yes.
to the hair. Like, listen, let's go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to give you two places. One is my
Mhm.
website, and it's ingafay.com. That's INGA, F as in Frank, AY.com. So
Mm.
that is my website. You can pretty much find my social media links. You can find my blog there. You can also connect to some of the courses that I have for entrepreneurs about how they can pre-qualify their leads through surveys, and then my relationship accelerator, how I help you grow your business through authentic relationships. So all of that's there on that site. But then I also have another opportunity for you. I know that it's very important to be your authentic self when it comes to your outer appearance. So I would love for you to give me your insight on, some of your beauty woes, because I'm currently writing articles centered around beauty and how they affect women's confidence. So
Mm.
if you're interested in participating in that, it would be survey.ingafay.com. So it's just the word survey.ingafay.com/beauty. And that information there would allow you to fill out the survey. If you want to connect afterwards, you have the opportunity to do that as well. But you can just kind of give me your insight. I'm just loving to talk to women, and they just tell me what's going on. Some of the stuff I would have never thought of. Most of
Mm.
it's kind of general, but a lot of it is just like, wow, okay, I never thought about that. So yeah, I would love your help with that. So by all means, go to that website and let me know what you're thinking.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. So I'm going to put those two links in the notes as well. So you guys can just
Okay.
click it and learn more about the work Inga does, as well as the survey, so we could get that data out, because I know you're on a mission. And so if this is going to help us accomplish that mission, then we got to get on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Any final words?
Yeah, just take the time, as Funke has already told us, to really rest yourself. I know it can be kind of complicated because as women, we have a lot of hats. We're moms, we're wives, we're employees, we're daughters, we're sisters. We got a whole lot of stuff going on. But at the end of the day, if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of nobody else.
Mm.
So really make it a point to put yourself as a priority, to make sure you're getting the necessary rest, eat right, exercise, so you can truly be the authentic person that you were meant to be.
I love that. So you guys heard her. And if you're out there, a mom, a woman who is struggling to find rest, in the sense of you feel like it just doesn't show up because your schedule is so jam-packed, or the kids that have sleep issues, and because of that you're not sleeping, get in
Right.
touch with me, because that's what I do, and that I would love to help you. Thank you so much, Inga. It's so good to speak with you. And I'm sure that we'll definitely have you come again, because I really want to see where this is going, especially with the work you're doing with the survey and things like that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. Until next time, rest well.
Bye for now.